So you were in Chicago when the crack hit.
Oh yeah,
right.
Yeah.
How did you see your neighborhoods change?
Actually, we call them hypes.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we call them at the crib. We call them hypes.
Yes,
So we had a couple in the neighborhood.
Oh, y'all call them hypes.
Yeah,
I've heard that term.
And if anybody in Chicago that grew up with me that's watching this, I'm talking about Kay Slaughter for one. Y'all know, I don't even know if she's still living. But she lived in the neighborhood and she was doing her things. And so where I lived at was like the respected black middle class neighborhood. Up the street across the bridge was Loan Homes, Princeton Park, you know, the lower income, you know, housing, public housing.
Okay.
And I hung out there a lot.
The projects.
Yeah. I hung out there. I hung out there a lot. And you can see that. You saw it in my neighborhood slightly, just certain people, but you really saw it over there. You know, just knowing the neighborhood drug dealers, knowing the neighborhood hypes, you know, they would look out at times, and at times you would have to look out for them. You know what I mean by looking out is like, you know, don't mess with him. That's Lil Bink. Don't you know? And that was it was a blessing and a curse. And then I saw a lot of things like, you know, hypes getting beat up and hypes getting killed and, you know, just stuff like that, you know, in different parts of the neighborhood. Now, it's so funny, like we so desensitized to seeing people getting shot and beat up, you know, but back then when I was like, oh,
that's major.
God. Yeah, I was like, that stuff
like,
beats on your soul. Like,
come on now.
On that way tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's funny. One of the hypes from back in the day, like, I don't know how he lived this long. His name was Bruce. If anybody from the crib, I'm talking about Bruce. Oh, yeah. I know he died a couple of years ago, but he was like, man, he was like the worst. I would go, you know, like, especially when I went to college and came back home and still see him on the corner. Like, this dude is still on the corner.
Yeah, OG crack.
Yeah, like, I'm like, this dude is still here. Like,
you're like, hey. It's your girl, Jazzy K with Super Tight TV. We want to thank everyone that's been watching. Hey, if you do us a favor and hit that subscribe button, also press the notification bell so you can be notified every time we drop a new video.
No, I'ma get some game tuned in with Super Tight. Yeah, I get the low from Big Bobo from the front seat, not no photos.